Hey guys, my name is Gunnar. Welcome to my channel where I post random car content. Sometimes it's DIY, sometimes it's reviews of real cars, and sometimes, like today, it's reviews of model cars. So I have a debate. I've had this 1:18 scale Audi RS6 from GT Spirit for about a year now. My only complaint is it's a resin model. So resin is a sort of silicon rubber composite kind of thing, and it doesn't allow things to be open because it's so soft. They choose not to make the structure more unstable by having opening components. So the doors don't open, the bonnet doesn't open, the wheels don't move. It's just one hunk of material sitting there, and it looks great. But I just wish it were an opening model. But back then, there was no opening model of the RS6 available, and this was just the best version available, so I just got it. But now, about a year later, KiloWorks has released an opening model of the RS6, and I was really tempted, so I got it. But the point is, this is twice as expensive as that. So I want to figure out, is this twice as good and worth keeping than that, or should I just send it back and stick to my old model? And what allows this to be opened and roll is it's a die-cast model. So each component, each let's say body panel, is die-cast. So you pour the material, in this case metal or in some case plastics, into a die. You let it cool off, and then you have a really strong material, really strong part, a really strong piece of bodywork, whatever. And that allows it to have multiple opening pieces. The bonnet opens, the wheels move, and the doors open, and even the door mirrors fold. So that just gives it this thing. I feel like it gives you more value, even though it's twice as expensive. It has a lot more functionality. But I want to know, is the opening the only thing that's better, or does it have a lot more going for it, which justifies it being twice as expensive as that one? So we'll come to the opening part as well, but let's just start with how it looks in person. If you just have them on a shelf and you don't want to open them on a regular basis, which one looks the best? Well, starting up front, they both have the same trademark Audi grille. In this case, it's really wide and really aggressive. Honestly, the RS6, the C8 generation RS6 is one of the best looking cars on the market. So with the GT Spirit, the daytime running lights, these white things, they're actually a lot brighter than they would be in real life. So they're almost as if they're illuminated. Whereas on the KiloWorks, they're a little dimmer, the way they would be in a real life car. So obviously, visually, this one does look better because you can just make out the details better, but this is just more realistic. Also up front, this has the chrome package, so the Audi badge and the RS6 badge are in chrome, which is what I would prefer. But this one, it has the black pack. I think Audi calls it the black optics pack, which is not what I would choose, but unfortunately that's what the models come with individually. So as you can see, as I'm moving this is just a static model. It could be just anything. It's just a piece of design, whereas this is actually a car. The wheels roll. Now you can hear the little components inside just creaking because there's just so many moving components inside. From the side profile, they both have the same body lines. Obviously, they're the same car, but sometimes model makers, they skimp out and they don't enhance or accentuate the body lines to cut costs, because that would require more cost to make them look good. But in this case, neither model maker has spared any expense, and they both have really good looking body lines in both cases. And also in both cases, I don't know if you can see it, but they both have a little indentation here. That's for the keyless go. So you come up and you put your hand there and the door unlocks. And when you want to lock the car, you once again press this little area on the real car, obviously, and the car locks. So both versions have it, which I think is pretty cool, although it is a bit more pronounced here. And that's one of the benefits of a resin model. Even though it is more softer and less stable, it just allows you to form it more easily. Because it's softer, you can just get it into your desired shape more easily. And that's why you have a few more details than this one, because die-cast components are just harder to get into the right shape. In terms of wheels, they both have the same 22-inch wheels, which are some pretty good looking designs. Once again, these roll, the other ones don't. They both have I believe carbon ceramic brakes with the Audi Sport branding. Once again, same case here. They look very good. Although one difference, the KiloWorks model has carbon fiber. It has carbon fiber here, it has carbon fiber lower down, so it probably has, so this is trying to replicate a carbon fiber spec Audi RS6, whereas this has regular just black optics. It doesn't have the carbon fiber spec. One thing that the GT Spirit version does do better is it has a more accurate sensor here for the high beam, for the high beam assist and for the rain sensor, light sensor, that sort of thing. Whereas in this case, it's just a bit, yeah, so what? Moving around to the back. Once again, this has a silver optics. So these are chrome optics. You can see the Audi badge, you can see the Audi RS6 badge, whereas in the case of the one by KiloWorks, they are the black optics. And I have to say, this is a bit wonky. So if you focus on the badge, the 6 is a little too far apart than it should be, and it's a little off. I don't know if that really matters, but yeah, whatever. And also, if you notice, this Audi Sport has the actual Audi font, right? Whereas this Audi RS6 Avant is just written in a generic font. It could be Arial, it could be whatever font from Microsoft Word. It just doesn't look all that special. Surely they should have, used the Audi official font, but for some reason they've just tacked on that generic font. So visually, I have to say they both look pretty good, although the lights just look better here because the daytime running lights are illuminated, and small things just such as the more accurate sensors here, and of course the keyless go sensor here. There are small things which make this a more visually better looking model than this, but that's of course to be expected because this is just a more easily bendable, easily formable, is that a word, formable? Easy to form material than this. However, the upside of using die-cast materials is, die-cast component is that it is openable. So underneath we have a very detailed engine bay. I mean, it is super detailed. Let me increase the brightness. And for context, for comparison, I have my NoRev 1:18 scale Mercedes S-Class. So this, okay. Now, in case if you can't open things with your fingers, you can use this tool, right? A lot of models are shipped with these tools. In case you're having trouble. So if you look under this bonnet, it's all just a single piece of plastic, or at least one or two pieces of plastic, and it's all just black. Whereas this has so much detail, it goes so deep. If I put this thing inside, it goes a lot deeper than it does here. And there's so many different colors. You've got the body here, you've got the silver piece. Actually, you can remove the engine cover like on a real car, which I think is super cool. You've got labels and stuff like that. It is just a really detailed engine compartment. Once again, labels here. Really, really cool. And also some labels on the headlights because they have lasers. So I think they have labels to tell people not to stare directly into the... yeah, you know what? I'll just remove the engine cover for now. Also, this has pretty basic looking hinges, the NoRev S-Class, whereas this has pretty realistic looking hinges. Once again, given the price point, this is about 100 euros. So was this, whereas this is 200 euros. So you'd expect that sort of thing for the price point. Although I think the closing isn't that satisfactory because if I close it just like this, it doesn't go all the way in. It doesn't sort of latch in. You have to sort of press it. And then once again, because it sort of sticks up a bit, and that's when it really latches and lines up properly. The door mirrors fold. They are super finicky. You don't want to give them, into the hands of little kids. They'll break them off in a second. So be very careful with this. Now let's open the door. Once again, you can't do that on the GT Spirit model. So yeah. Now looking inside, they both do have very detailed interiors, right? That's a shame with these resin models. They do have the same details on the inside. You just can't see them all that well because they're closed. Whereas in this case, you can take full advantage of the opening and just see everything. Now, I have never seen this on a model. Most of my models don't have this, but this thing has moving seats, right? Kind of finicky. It's not that easy to show or do, but okay, let's see. So the seat is actually in its farmost position. If I push it, hopefully you should be able to see it. There we go. Now I'm going to push it. Sort of moved, right? Not the smoothest movement, that's for sure. But then again, it is a tiny little seat. I don't expect it to be. I'll do it on the other side. I remember that being a little more easier to do. So we'll switch to the passenger side. Oops. So you got to open the rear door. Once again, increase the brightness. And let me see. Is the seat all the way forward? Yeah, see, you can move the seat forward and backward. I hope you saw that. Once again, it is in its farmost position, and now push it forward. Don't do it too frequently because it's a bit finicky. You can also, well, first of all, yeah, let's check out the interior. Yeah, you've got the quad zone climate control. You've got carpeting both in front and in back. Now let's open the boot, because this has to be one of the coolest things I've seen on any model car. Once again, the boot hinges are pretty real, like a real car. You don't have like these toy car, model car hinges. They look pretty real, these struts here. You once again have carpeting. It is dark in there. And the hilarious thing is you can fold down the seats. So if I push the seats with my hand, my fingers, you can see that they're folded down and up the brightness, and you can fold them all the way down, and you have this enormous cargo area like a real car. And I could just put this inside and close the boot, or I could leave the engine cover inside if I don't want it to get lost, and just shut it. So this is actually a usable storage area. You could use it to store valuables. If you have, like, I don't know, some secret picture of someone you don't want other people to see, or some USB drive you want to hide, you could hide it in here. I think it's a hilarious thing that the seats fold down. Yeah, it is pretty epic. So honestly, yeah, the doors are a bit loud. I think they could be a bit more damped, but you can't ask for everything. The question is the KiloWorks model worth double what the GT Spirit costs? And the answer simply is, what do you want to use the model for? If you just want to put it on a table or in a glass case and just stare at it all day, this works, right? It's more detailed, the headlights, the sensor up there, and small details like these, like the keyless entry sensors, they look better. So if you just want to stare at the model all day long, and if you want to have a better value for money proposition, you want to save a bit of cash, this is the one to go for, especially because this is the official model, because it's got the Audi Sport branding in front. So this is what they sold through Audi's own stores and stuff and their dealerships. And it's also a limited model. As you can see, mine is number 1128 out of nearly 2,000 units. But if you just want the better model, right, the more detailed model, sometimes when you can just check it out, you know, if you don't have anything to do, you're just sitting there, you think, let me just check out my model car. You can just open things up and just look inside and just, you know, relish it all. So it really depends. If you want to have the better model, this is the better model, right? There's no question about it. It's more detailed. It's got so many little things that just make you smile. It certainly makes me smile. So yeah, this is a really good looking model with actually a few shortcomings. Look at this. What is that? Whereas this is a lot more normal. So yeah, so don't touch the windshield or any of the glass panels on your GT Spirit RS6. But on the whole, I am keeping this. So my initial question was, okay, I bought this. Should I keep this or should I send it back and just stick with my old one? I have to say, this is what I've been looking for the whole time. I want an opening model with lots of details, you know, these little things such as the seats folding, such as the seats moving, the engine bay being so detailed. This is what I've wanted. This is what I wanted this to be originally. Obviously, I couldn't. This didn't exist back then. So my conclusion is I would choose this. I am choosing this. I am choosing to keep this in my collection. And unfortunately, I'm having to sell this because I just can't keep two RS6s. I would love to, but I just don't have space and that kind of funds. So I'm keeping this. This is the better model. But if you're a little tight, a budget is a little tight, and you really want to have a model, but not do much with it, then I would say this is also a great car. You can also find them used because they're a year old now. But if you do want to have the best model, I think this is the one to go for. So thanks a lot for watching, and I've done a couple more videos on model cars and also real cars, so if you're interested in those, check them out. And I'll try to do more videos more frequently, more consistently in the future, so stay tuned for those. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.